Hi, my name is Sabitha Sasitha Kumar, and I'm an advisor hired by Justin Trudeau. In today's presentation, I will be analyzing the current COVID-19 situation, and I will be evaluating the effectiveness of the current measure and recommending when Canada should call the pandemic off. For this presentation, I have used the dataset called COVID-19 Vaccine Data in Ontario, which was found on Ontario Data Catalog to help present my conclusions. The data collected indicates the number of people vaccinated and the number of doses that have been administered between December 2020 to April 16, 2022. The data collected was fairly cleaned and transformed in Power BI. Visuals have been created to help share the key insights I have discovered to display the information collected based on the vaccine status. For this presentation, I have completed an analysis on Power BI. I have transformed my data using the following: by renaming the columns to ensure the audience understands what is being presented. I have removed columns and categorical rows to ensure that we have removed the irrelevant data for this analysis. I have also changed the data type to ensure the measure of the data was being presented correctly. For example, if I've included a date in the one of my rows was a date, and I've ensured that is allocated or understood in Power BI as a date. I have also removed the none values to remove the noise from the dataset to ensure that I'm working with a clean dataset. So to start off, we're going to be looking at the vaccination rollout statistics. So one, the purpose of the vaccine was built to reduce the chances of contracting the virus that causes COVID-19 and from spreading it. The vaccine was helped to minimize the risk of the major illness for a human as well as death. So we're able to see in the chart here that compared to the confirmed cases, the death rates were much higher. We're looking at a death rate of approximately over 43% just over the span of 14 days here, which is very high. And the vaccination was first rolled out in December 15th, 2020. As soon as it came out, we're able to see that multiple people actually got the vaccination as soon as possible, and we're able to see particularly the age groups between 40 plus to the age of 59 were the ones to first go ahead and get their first doses. And this is one particularly because these are the people who were out and about, let's say, doing labor jobs as well as taking care of the household, as for example, cooking, so being able to go to the grocery store or being able to pick up medication that was most necessary. So they were the ones, one, who were at high risk, and the ones who felt like that needed to get the vaccination first to help reduce their chances of illness and death. Next, I want to take a look at the statistics based on the vaccination status as of April 2022. So in Ontario, it seems to be as if we're actually in our sixth wave after removing the COVID-19 restrictions. The chart indicates how the numbers have been quite high within Canada for over the past 10 days between April 3rd and April 13th. However, when compared to the death rates, it is actually very minimal compared to what we saw earlier from December. The death rate we're currently looking at now is between 0 to 2.25% in regards to the confirmed cases. We're able to see that multiple people have received their first doses. However, in 2021, there was 61.85% who have received their first dose, and people are continuing to receive their second dose, as there have been 38.15% people who have received their second dose in 2022. So next, we like to evaluate the correlation between the first dose and the people that are becoming fully evaluated. So we can see in 2021, people have received their first dose, have continued to become fully vaccinated. However, although the correlation is positive, we have to keep in mind it's not as high as the number of people who have received their first vaccination. And in this pie chart, it's it's a better visual for all of you, where we're able to see that there are about 1 billion people who became vaccinated in the year of 2021, but there's a greater number of people who have become fully vaccinated in the year of 2022. Although vaccination rolled out in December 2020, people still understand the severity of COVID and are continuing to protect themselves. Finally, I like to look at the vaccination status. So we're able to see that in Ontario, 39.3% of the population has received their first dose, while only 18.71% have the population has received their second dose. And we are currently sitting at 23.35% who have or are considered to be fully vaccinated. We're able to see that multiple people received their first dose and haven't received their second dose. And we have to keep in mind this may be due to people who have already received COVID and believe they have the antibodies to fight the particular virus, as well as these people who protect themselves very well and are more likely to stay at home from preventing the issue or preventing the virus from getting worse for themselves. In regards to people that have only become fully vaccinated, is very minimal, 23.35%. However, there is a time period between when people can get their first vaccination to their second vaccination. So people may be just waiting it out for a couple months before they go ahead and take their second dose or become fully vaccinated. Finally, I like to conclude our presentation by mentioning the existing measures are effective and should not be reduced due to the threat from the emerging variants. As I mentioned earlier, Ontario is currently sitting at sixth wave, and the variants are being mutated on a very regular basis, and new variants are being found. Therefore, we have to keep in mind 23.35% of Ontarians have been fully vaccinated, while 39.3% have received their first dose. Although the vaccination rolled out in December 2020, people are continuing to get vaccinated to help reduce the threat of death as well as serious illnesses. For now, I like to bring your eyes over to this chart where I've built a forecasted model in regards to the people who have received 2 doses by the year. So we're able to see between 2021 to 2022, there was a slight decrease in the number of people who have received their second vaccination. However, from 2022 to 2023, we're able to see there's going to be a positive change in regards to the number of people receiving their vaccination. And we've noticed also there is a lot of people that have received their first dose in 2022. Therefore, there just needs to be a slight break before they're able to get their next vaccination. With that all being said, there is still a large population that has not been vaccinated, causing a spread of the virus, and maintaining the existing restrictions will help keep the death rates low, as well as keeping people within the province safe, as the progression of the virus will get slower, or at least we hope that there won't be as many mutations. With that all being said, in regards to calling off the pandemic is hard to judge because of the number of variants that are being mutated. However, if more people become vaccinated and hopefully at least up to 60% of their Ontarians have received their first dose, we can call the pandemic off as the threat of the virus will become very minimal due to the protection people have brought upon themselves. With that being said, thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you've learned a lot. I hope you all stay safe, and please continue to follow all the COVID-19 measures. Thank you.